This video is about making a charcuterie board out of a old slab of wild cherry that I've had laying around for a while. This came from my backyard and just a little unique slab that I've been looking for, something to make with it. And I decided to try one of these boards. So first thing I did is take it over to that slab flattener that I built because it's too wide for my joiner, and it did have quite a twist in it after drying for years, and it was kind of tough to clamp down just because of the shape being round on the other side, but I had to give it, hold it down a little bit and make a couple passes. And this first pass I took about 1/4 of an inch off the high spots, and you can see how nice this flattener works with, zero sawdust in the air or anything like that. So then I went back and I just did a final, about an 1/8 inch pass off of everything just to clean it up and, make sure it was perfectly flat. And there you can start to see the sapwood and the grain coming out of it. It's a really pretty piece, pretty little piece of wood there. And again, this little flattener, someday I might automate it, but for now it really does work good with the buttons. Just take my time and does a really nice job. Best part is zero sawdust in the shop. So that just took a couple minutes to get the one side of it nice and flat. And I'm really amazed at the job that 2-inch cutter bit does. It really does a really glass smooth finish on it just about. So there you have it. You can see just how flat and nice it came out. So let's show the back side of it. You can see it sits flat on the bench. That side's good, but the other side is still a mess. So that's what the planer is for now. I'm just going to take it down until I get a nice flat spot that'll sit on, and then I'll stop there. So a couple passes through the planer, and then I decided I wanted to kind of make the edges look like a live edge also. So I cut them out with a jigsaw. I just freehanded some lines on there. And then at first I thought I'd just take the spoke shave and scrape it off, but it turned out that thing needs a good sharpening. It would do a little bit at a time, but I'd be there all day trying to clean it up with that. So after a couple minutes, I decided it's got to be a faster way to do this, and headed over to the that oscillating belt sander. And that actually made a pretty quick job out of doing what I wanted to do, and it gave me about the same taper as the rest of the edges on it. So that's definitely the way to do it from now on. And there you can see it's kind of roughed in. I still got some more smoothing out and blending to do, but that's the start of it. And I'm just trying to duplicate what's on the live edges there. I have time to do a little bit of filing to kind of finesse everything in there and sharpen up the edges and stuff. And time to clean off the old bark and stuff off that live edge. I don't want to go too deep and take the color out of it, but you still have to clean it up and get everything, all the dirt and bark and everything off of it. And then just a little bit more blending, and I had some soft spots I filled with super glue to harden them in. A little bit punky there, so let that dry, and then it's time to go over and do the final sanding in that sanding station that I made, and that does a real good job catching all the sawdust too. So you can see it really didn't take all that long to make it. Now I'm just going to put a coat of this walrus oil on it to start. Now, some woods you're best off to wet it down before you do the first coat and sand it and do a grain raising. But with the cherry, I'm just going to put the first coat on the top, and I just want one coat before I start the laser engraving, just to keep everything clean when it's done. So over to the Xtool, it's D1 20 watt, and I'm just going to put a little bit of nomenclature on the front of it, and just to dress it up just a little bit. So there you can see these lasers just are so fun to have when you're doing projects like this. They make them really special. Okay, so that side came out good. See, really nice job. Just a little bit of depth and nice color to them. And then I decided to just flip it over on the back and put the logo on it and date and just a little return to. So hopefully it gets back to my sister when she brings it out full. And again, you can see just how nice a job these little lasers do when you're, making things like this. Really does a perfect job and only takes like 5 minutes. So now it's time to get the rest of the coats on. I'm going to do 3 coats of oil and let it dry 1 day between each coat. And then I'm going to go back and sand it between each coat with 320 grit sandpaper and make sure that I get any grain raising off of it. Some woods you do want to wet them first, like I said, and sand them before you even start. But cherry, I find it doesn't, the grain really doesn't raise much. So same thing on the back, what I do in the front of it, I do on the back of it. Now you can see just the beautiful color that's coming out with that walrus oil. And that is a mixture of beeswax and some other things that are supposed to be a food grade and, make the finish last. Okay, now I'm going to go back after 3 coats of that and put on another 3 coats of the wax, that walrus oil cutting board wax, which is a food grade finish again. And it just kind of gives you a nice matte finish when you're done. And it does, you let it dry overnight between buffing it, and it does give a nice hard finish to it too. So there you can see, just, I just love the color that slab had in it. And, it's a great way to use a little slab that I've just kind of been hanging around in my shop for years. And after 3 coats, do the final buffing out there. So it's pretty much done now. You can see everything's all buffed out, nice, smooth, kind of glass smooth. Nice matte finish from the wax, and hopefully that'll protect it, and it should stay nice. You can see the super glue did fill in those areas nice and kind of harden them over. A little different color where they are, but can't do much about that. And the colors on this just are, really amazing. So I just thought I'd, share this, and it's a good way to use up some scrap slabs that you have laying around if you, just want to try to make a small one of these boards to use for serving meats. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.